Welcome back to Elevation Perspective. My name is Mark, and today we are doing our preview of the National League West. The five teams in the National League West are the Padres, the Rockies, the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, and the Giants. The team we are picking to finish in fifth place last in this division is the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies were incredibly quiet this offseason, like they are pretty much every year. The one savvy move I thought they made was bringing Thairo Estrada on a one-year deal. I feel like bringing him in a Coors Field could definitely play up his talent. Also, if he has a nice first half, they can flip him at the deadline. It's a pretty solid lineup here for the Rockies. We're looking at Brenton Doyle, Ryan McMahon, Ezekiel Tovar, Chris Bryant, Thairo Estrada, Michael Toglia, Nolan Jones, Jordan Beck, and Jacob Stallings. Doyle might be the best defensive center fielder in all of baseball. Also, his bat really stepped up in 2024. Ryan McMahon has been a very consistent 20-plus homer guy for this team for years. Chris Bryant's honestly one of the saddest stories in all of baseball to me. This is a former MVP. Once he signed that big-time contract with the Rockies, his career pretty much fell apart. He's only 33, maybe being the full-time DH now can keep him on the field and having a nice 25-ish home run season. The previously mentioned Thairo Estrada, I like that move, bringing him in this offseason. I'm very high on Michael Toglia. He hits the ball really hard. The average might be low, but I see 30-plus home runs from this player. We have no idea what Nolan Jones is. Had a really nice 2023 campaign in about half a season's worth of games. Was absolutely terrible last year in 2024. Jordan Beck is a top prospect. Definitely want to see him get some serious run for this team. And Jacob Stallings, 35-year-old journeyman defensive catcher. As you can probably imagine, the rotation of the bullpen for this Rockies team is very messy. The rotation looks like German Marquez, Ryan Feltner, Kyle Freeland, Antonio Senzatella, and Bradley Blalock. Then the bullpen, just not a lot going on here. I think Tyler Kinley got some saves last year, so did Victor Vodnik, but really nothing you like to see here. Right now, the Rockies' win total sits at 59.5 wins. I'm going to take the over here. It's definitely going to be close. I see them hovering right around that 100-loss number. I definitely see a world where they play pretty well at home. I can see this team being around 500 at home and just being putrid on the road, and that kind of turning into a 98, 97 loss season. In fourth place, I'm going to go with the San Francisco Giants. The Giants, now under Buster Posey, were pretty active this offseason. Made a big splash, giving Willy Adames a big-time contract, also bringing in Justin Verlander on a one-year deal. I don't love the fit here for Willy Adames going to the San Francisco Giants. Especially on a 7-year deal, it feels like the last 3-ish years of this contract might be a serious regret for the Giants. On the flip side, though, Adames is certainly a big-time upgrade from what they had previously, and I never want to put down a team for trying. I just don't love the fit. The Giants lineup right now looks like Lamont Wade Jr., Willy Adames, Jung-Hoo Lee, Matt Chapman, Elliot Ramos, Patrick Bailey, Wilmer Flores, Mike Yastrzemski, and Tyler Fitzgerald. It's kind of a weird lineup to me when I'm looking at it on the surface here. Lamont Wade, a nice high on-base percentage leadoff option from the left side. The big free agent there in Willy Adames. Jung-Hoo Lee missed a lot of time last year with that torn labrum. He's a guy who I expect to have a nice bounce-back season. Probably hit around 280, 290. Not sure the power will be there per se, but definitely a bat I like. Matt Chapman had an awesome year last year. Really bounced back to superstar levels again. Elliot Ramos is really interesting to me. This is a guy with power and speed, only 25 years old, kind of broke in a little bit late in terms of prospect status, but definitely has potential. Patrick Bailey is a phenomenal defensive catcher. I'm not sure if Wilmer Flores is going to play every day for this team. He's getting up there in age. Also, the performance was definitely down last year. Yastrzemski, too, another guy. He's been on this team forever, it feels like, almost 35 years old. He'll probably be the strong side platoon, at least against righties. And Tyler Fitzgerald kind of came out of nowhere last year. Had a nice season, but I feel like there's a lot of skepticism about his performance. He's 27 years old, broke into the league pretty late here, but he is really fast. So maybe if he's at the bottom of the lineup there, kind of causing havoc on the base pass, he could be really nice. To me, the starting rotation looks like the strength of this ball club. It looks like Logan Webb, Justin Verlander, Robbie Ray, Jordan Hicks, and Kyle Harrison. I do like Logan Webb a lot. Really solid sinker ball pitcher. The Willy Adames addition could actually help him out a lot, just shoring up the defense of this team. Justin Verlander is 42 years old. I mean, he was really bad last year for the Astros, but he dealt with some injuries. I mean, he's 42. You're going to deal with injuries. I'm not overly excited here, but if there was a situation where I could see Verlander kind of bouncing back and being a competitive pitcher, again, it is in a situation like this with a great home ballpark. You probably have to pick and choose where you use Verlander at this stage of his career, but hopefully it works out. There's a lot of preseason hype about Robbie Ray right now in spring training. His velocity is back up to pre-Tommy John levels. He also had a changeup this offseason that Tariq Skubal taught him, so definitely hype back in Robbie Ray, the former Cy Young winner. Jordan Hicks, the converted reliever who came over last year to join the rotation of this team, he had some moments where he looked really good. I think he kind of fell apart toward the end as the workload caught up to him. So maybe another year of a full-time starter workload and kind of get him back to where he wants to be. And Kyle Harrison in the 5 spot's pretty solid as well. He's a lefty with good stuff. He showed some nice flashes, but definitely has to find some consistency in 2025. And this bullpen is pretty strong as well. Ryan Walker broke out last year and became the closer for this team. Tyler Rogers throws from that weird arm angle that really throws hitters off. Camilo Doval has absolutely great stuff. Of course, he used to be the closer for this team before Walker took the gig. He still has great stuff, could definitely earn that spot back, but someone I'm definitely watching to bounce back this year. Overall, I do really like the pitching for this team. The Giants' win total sits at 79.5 wins. I'm going to take the under here. 80 wins for this team feels like a lot to me. I see them in that mid to high 70 range, but not really eclipsing to the 80 mark. To me, it just goes back to the lineup here for the Giants. I like the pitching. The lineup's just not good enough for me. For that reason, I will take the under at 79.5 wins. In third place, I am taking the San Diego Padres. Another very weird offseason for the Padres here. The ownership battle continues. It seems like Preller doesn't have any money to spend based on what's going on above him. This was a team that many viewed to be better than the Dodgers last year. Of course, the Dodgers won the World Series, but many people picked the Padres as the best team. They almost knocked them out. They were up 2-1 in that playoff series. Of course, the Dodgers came back, won that series, and then won the World Series. But with all that being said, this was a great team last year. The one big move the Padres did make this offseason was bringing in Nick Pivetta pretty late on a pretty interesting contract. He will help this team a lot. I actually like Nick Pivetta a decent amount. He has really great advanced numbers. Also playing in Petco Park should help his stats as well. Besides Pivetta, they brought in the likes of some veterans like Jose Iglesias, Connor Joe, and Jason Hayward. The Padres lineup looks like Luis Arraez, Fernando Tatis Jr., Jackson Merrill, Manny Machado, Jake Cronenworth, Xander Bogaerts, Jose Iglesias, Jason Hayward, and Elias Diaz. I think the first 6-7 batters in this lineup are really, really tough. The bottom is definitely weak, but that's most bottoms in Major League Baseball. Luis Arraez, a batting champion every year, it seems like, leading things off. Fernando Tatis, a superstar. Jackson Merrill broke in the league last year, was absolutely phenomenal. Manny Machado is so consistent at third base, 30 home runs every year. I don't love Jake Cronenworth, but he's definitely serviceable. Xander Bogaerts has been a bust to this point, but he's still like a 270-ish hitter with like 15 home runs. He's not terrible, just not what he's being paid to do. Iglesias, of course, was a great story last year for the Mets. He did hit .337. I don't expect that to happen again, but probably around a 280-ish hitter with great defense. I really don't see much in Jason Hayward at this point. Elias Diaz is also kind of in that same similar boat, both around 35 years old, more defensive players. I think the Padres' rotation is good, but it's also very thin. The rotation looks like Dylan Cease, Michael King, Yu Darvish, Nick Pivetta, and Steven Kolek. There were plenty of trade rumors this offseason about both Dylan Cease and Michael King. They are both ace-level pitchers, both probably top 20-ish starting pitchers in the entire league, and they will both become free agents at the end of this season, hence why there was so much trade speculation. Yu Darvish is almost 39 years old now. I mean, I think he'll still be competitive. I doubt he'll ever be bad, but you can't really expect too much from this player at this point. Like I previously mentioned, I do like Nick Pivetta for this team. I think it's a really nice fit. And I don't know a whole lot about Steven Kolek, to be honest. I know they also have the knuckleballer Matt Waldron in the mix here. It's a pretty strong bullpen for this team. Robert Suarez had a really nice year last year, a pretty solid closer. Jason Adam, they brought in from the Rays, is really good. Jeremiah Estrada had a run last year where he struck out like 15 guys in a row. That guy has crazy stuff. A couple of tough lefties here in Morahan, Matsui, and Wandy Peralta as well. It's a very good bullpen. The Padres' win total right now sits at 85.5 wins. I'm going to take the over here, but I don't feel confident about it. This team I see right around this number. It's a really good number here from Vegas, but I see them going around 86, 87 wins. They're going to be right in the thick of the wild card race, not the division, I don't think, but right in the thick of the wild card race. I see them being competitive all throughout the year and finishing around 86, 87 wins. I really do believe if the Padres had financial flexibility here and were able to bring in some real talent this offseason, they could compete with the Dodgers, but because they definitely did take a step back, I have to keep them around this 86, 87 win threshold. In second place, I'm going to go with the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks made two really nice moves this offseason. The first one, trading for Josh Naylor. I think this is a really nice fit for this player who's an RBI machine, hitting right behind Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte. I see an absolutely great breakout contract year from Naylor. And the big splash this team made, bringing Corbin Burnes on a 6-year, $210 million contract. Absolutely came out of nowhere. No one was expecting Burnes to sign with this team. It came out afterwards. He wanted to be closer to home, but an absolutely great get for Arizona. The Diamondbacks lineup looks like Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Josh Naylor, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Jake McCarthy, Eugenio Suarez, Pavin Smith, Gabriel Moreno, and Geraldo Perdomo. It's a very strong, very deep lineup from top to bottom in my opinion here. Corbin Carroll is a real X factor to me. If he can bounce back to those 2023 levels that we saw him perform at, he can win MVP and this lineup can be ridiculous. Ketel Marte had a phenomenal season last year, a switch hitter with big-time power from the second base position. He's great. As I mentioned, I love this Josh Naylor fit here. I see him hitting around 260, 270, 20-ish home runs with 100-plus RBIs. Lourdes Gurriel has always been a solid bat here, hits around 270, 280, drives and runs. I am pretty interested here in Jake McCarthy. He's been a fourth outfielder, kind of pinch runner defensive replacement guy for most of his career. If he does get a real opportunity to play here, play 5 or 6 times a week, he could probably hit around 10 home runs and steal 40-plus bases. Suarez at third base is a big power threat, had a great second half last year. Pavin Smith looks to replace Jock Pearson in that DH strong side platoon role. I'm still excited about Gabriel Moreno. He's had some injuries, unfortunately, but I still think he has the upside of one of the better offensive catchers in the league. I don't love the profile of Geraldo Perdomo. He is good defensively, but I thought Jordan Lawler would take his position, but he got this big offseason extension, actually, so it's kind of in a weird spot with him. The rotation also looks to be really solid for this Diamondbacks team. Corbin Burnes, Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, Eduardo Rodriguez, and Brandon Pfaadt. Burnes is a perennial Cy Young candidate. He's going to fit in really well in this team, I think. Zach Gallen is a weird player to me. He's shown some flashes of being a true ace, but he's had different injury problems, definitely had a down year last year. He's in a contract year now, so it'll be really interesting to see if he can kind of bounce back to those ace levels. Merrill Kelly's not very exciting, but he's definitely serviceable, keeps you in games. Eduardo Rodriguez is a guy who got a big contract from this team, has not pitched very well / really at all because of injuries. He's still only 31 years old, about to turn 32. He was very solid years back with the Tigers and Red Sox. Maybe he can kind of find that again, but right now, not really a great pitcher. And Brandon Pfaadt is still pretty young at 26 years old and showed some really nice flashes last year of being a solid middle-of-rotation guy. I love this Diamondbacks bullpen. It is elite in my eyes. A.J. Puck was phenomenal once he was traded over from the Marlins to the Diamondbacks. Justin Martinez, who kind of serves as the split closer of this team, throws 103 miles per hour with a crazy sinker. This guy is nuts. Ginkel has been one of the more reliable relief pitchers in baseball for this team the last handful of years. Ryan Thompson also throws from that weird arm angle, gets a lot of ground balls. It's a crazy bullpen. I would take A.J. Puck and Justin Martinez with the top two with a majority of bullpens around the league. The Diamondbacks win total sits at 86.5 wins. This is a pretty easy over for me, at least. I see this team around 88 wins. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this team won 90 games. This is a really good baseball team. Just for some context here, this team was really solid last year, won 89 games, and they brought in Corbin Burnes. I think the Diamondbacks will take one of the 3 NL wildcard spots. For me, it's an easy over at 86.5 wins. And to the surprise of absolutely nobody, the team I am taking to finish in first place and win the National League West is the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yeah, I would say the Dodgers kept pretty busy this offseason. For the lineup, bringing back Teoscar Hernandez and signing Michael Conforto. For the rotation, bringing in Roki Sasaki and Blake Snell. And for the bullpen, because why not, they re-signed Blake Trinan, signed Tanner Scott, and signed Kirby Yates. The lineup looks like Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy, Will Smith, Michael Conforto, Tommy Edman, and James Outman. It's the best 1-2-3 in baseball. We know this already. 3 future Hall of Famers. My only slight concern with Ohtani this year is he's going to try to pitch again. Also had that labrum tear, so being pulled a few different directions here. I wonder if his bat will take a step back. He's Ohtani. He's the best player in baseball, so probably not, but it is a mild concern. Mookie Betts is still phenomenal. He's elite in the 2 spot. Playing shortstop full-time this year. Not sure why they're doing that, but it'll probably work out fine. Freddie Freeman, so consistent every year. He's 35 years old now. He has that ankle situation. So there are some cracks in the armor here for this Dodgers team, but there's just so many variables that they'll probably overcome them and be fine. But definitely some things to be concerned and watch for this group. Teoscar was a nice player to bring back for this team. He's a true run producer. So many opportunities to drive in runs with those 3 in front of him. Max Muncy, an all-or-nothing power hitter, has a pretty good on-base percentage, does walk a lot, but hits around like 220 now. Will Smith around like a 250, 260 average every year with 20-ish home runs, one of the better catchers in the league. I thought Conforto was a nice pickup for this team. Definitely a player I can see kind of putting on that Dodger blue and finding his superstardom again. Tommy Edman, a serviceable utility man who had a great run last October. And James Outman, more of a defensive guy, definitely struggled with the bat last year. And then the rotation here, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, and Dustin May. Lots of injury risk and injury history from this group, but the talent is unbelievable. And the bullpen to me is when things just get absolutely ridiculous for this team. They had a great bullpen last year, and they brought in Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates. These are probably 2 of the top 5 or 10 relievers in all of baseball last year. We saw what Blake Trinan did for this team last October. This guy is elite. Alex Vesia is elite. Band is a guy they got their hands on. He was a journeyman, passed around a bunch of different teams. Once the Dodgers got him, he became great. And not even pictured on this graphic here is Michael Kopech, Evan Phillips, and Brusdar Graterol. The bullpen is nuts. Right now, the Dodgers win total sits at 104.5 wins. In almost any situation, it would be ridiculous to take the over here, but I'm taking the over. This team is absolutely nuts the way it's constructed. I'm going to take over 104.5 wins. I'll play devil's advocate here. Like I kind of mentioned during the breakdown, there's a lot of guys with injury history, injury risk. There's also that element of they're playing for October. They're probably not going to go all in every regular season game, but with that being said, there's too much talent on this team. I will take over 104.5 wins. And that concludes our preview of the National League West. To recap here, I see the Rockies coming in 5th place, unfortunately well below the other 4 teams in the division. In 4th place, the San Francisco Giants, really nice pitching team. Not a lot of great bats in this group. I think in a different division they'd be very competitive, but not the National League West. In 3rd place, the San Diego Padres, a team of what-ifs in my opinion. I really feel like if they put their foot on the pedal this offseason, they could have been right there with the Dodgers at the top. Unfortunately, they took a step back for that reason, 3rd place. In 2nd place, the Arizona Diamondbacks had a nice offseason, bringing in Josh Naylor, Corbin Burns, 189 games last year. A lot of positive momentum going in their direction, in my opinion. I'll take them in 2nd place. And in 1st place, the team that had an absolutely crazy offseason will probably clear the rest of the field by 15-plus games, in my opinion, the Los Angeles Dodgers. And that is going to do it for me for my 2025 preview of the National League West Division. If you like this video, please hit subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.